Hi, so we are back for video 3 in this 3-part series. The first video will be linked below as well as the second. And in the first, we were talking about the intention behind your vision board and reverse engineering it. The second step was your life audit, which is the start of the process of reverse engineering your vision board. So in order to achieve or manifest the things that are on your vision board, you need to figure out where you are now and are you the person that you need to be in order to have to receive those things into your life. So today we're going to set up steps or talk about steps where you're creating a life that you want to live, a life of design, living by design and not default. And it's taking small steps to get from the person that you are to the person that you need to become in order to have the things that you want to have on your vision board. So today you may see me looking down because I've taken notes as to the steps. So the first was the reflection, which is basically your life audit. It's just a more detail to go into every area of your life, your career, personal growth, relationship, finance, to do a deep dive and see where you are in each one of those areas. Now, you may want to do like some people do, and they score them from 0 to 10. In my opinion, nothing is really a 10, is anything perfect, but score some areas you're going to be lower, some areas higher. You don't have to do as much work to bring yourself to where you want to be. The next step would be selecting a word of the year. Now, if you watch the vision board video, this year my word is tenacity. And the reason I picked that is because my business in particular has not been growing or progressing the way I want. And that's on me. I have not put the time and energy that I initially put into it in 2019 when I left corporate America and I was trying to build it. It's kind of fallen off in 2022. So I need to redirect my attention, focus, and energy into building the empire that I want. So this particular definition that I found for tenacity, I really liked. So it says, using new data to make new decisions, to find new pathways, to find new ways to achieve a goal when the old ways didn't work. So I felt that fit me to the T because I've been doing things a certain way and they're not really working. So it's time for me to make a shift, not to become set in my ways and just, I'm going to do it this way. I need to do things that I haven't normally done. I need to step outside of my comfort zone because staying here isn't going to allow me to grow. It's not going to allow me to evolve. And if I'm not doing those things, neither will my business. So selecting a word of the year, in my opinion, it's just selecting a word for the intention that you want to set in your life. Now, for me this year, the year is not going to be 12 months. Now, I normally start my new year on my birthday, but I'm going to try, and if you've heard of the 12-week year book, I'm going to try the 12-week year concept. So my year is going to be 12 weeks. So for that first 12-week run, my word is tenacity. It may carry over to the next 12 weeks, or it may change. Maybe at the end of those 12 weeks, I'm on a roll. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm getting things done. So the word of the year, in my opinion, just allows you to set your intention, which is the second step in Micah, which is mindset, intention, choices, action, and habits. So after you set your intention, whether it's the 12-month full calendar year or the 12-week year, you're going to start making choices that will support that intention. You're going to start taking actions that will support your choices. You're going to take those actions and you're going to try to turn those into habit, doing them consistently every day until they turn into habits. If a good book for habits, if you haven't read it or listened to it, I do a lot of audibles now, is The Atomic Habits by James Clear. But if you haven't read that, that is a really good book. So all of these things, your mindset, your choices, your actions, your habits, they should be aligned with your word of the year, your intention. It will help you to stay on course. So the next thing is to write down your micro principles. What's your mindset? What is your intention? What choices are you going to make, the actions, the habits? Make that a part of your daily routine, or actually your morning routine. Start that out every day, the first thing that you do in the morning. So if you're familiar with Miracle Morning, that book, he has a set of principles that he did every year to his life was not on track to get himself back on track. Similar concept. Any type of morning routine, whether it is the morning, I think it's the Miracle Morning routine, the Micah Principle routine, whatever works for you. But start something that starts your day off in a positive mindset so that when you go throughout the day, the little things don't bother you as much. You don't get sidetracked and just go off the rails because somebody bumped into you. Like you're so out of sort that the little things just set you off. So do something in the morning that puts you into a positive mindset that sets your day, the tone for your day. That's the purpose of that step. So whatever that process is, for me, it's going to be the Micah principles. I'm going to wake up, set my intention for the day. What things do I need to do? Because that brings me to the next step. Is every day to have the best year ever, to live your life by design, not default, to have the best life ever. It starts with each individual choice and action that you take on a daily basis. And so you won't want to get too far ahead of yourself. If you stay in the present, you do the things that you need to do that day that moves you forward. Don't how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So that's a quote I say quite often, because just do the little things, the small things that are going to move you forward. Because if you try to do too much and at once, you can become overwhelmed. And a lot of times, myself included, when you get overwhelmed, you don't do anything because it's just too much coming at you. So just get up in the morning, whatever the routine is, set your intention for the day, decide what you're going to do that day to move you forward. And if you want, I don't really do the nightly routines, but some people do. You evaluate at night and set yourself up for the next day. Now that's up to you. I have a morning routine. I don't really have a specific evening routine. And the last two things, well, not really the last two, but the next two things are to just, like I said, set your intention, make intentional choices, create healthy habits, the things that are going to move you forward to achieve the things that you, or attract the things into your life that you put on the board. So every day, commit to those things. Some days may not work out. Everybody has a bad day. You just don't, it just is what it is. But to the best that you can, stay on track with setting intentional choices and creating healthy habits. When life happens and it throws you a detour, just use the internal GPS, your word of the year, to reroute you and get you back on track to your destination. So that word of the year is, whether your year is 12 weeks or 12 months, it's your guiding light to keep you on track, to keep you moving forward in the direction that you're trying to progress. So when you feel like, oh my God, I'm off track, I'm over here, I'm supposed to be over here, just use that to your internal GPS to get you back on track for your destination. Because life is going to happen. So you got to learn to bend with the curves, because otherwise it'll drive you crazy. So lastly, the thing I would suggest is probably set a time each month somewhere where you're going to review. Are you on track? Are you moving forward? If you want to do it weekly, do it weekly. For me, I have it set up monthly, a monthly review. Is this working? It's working. Keep doing it. This isn't really working for me. I need to find something else. I need to find another way. Those type of things. Ask yourself questions. Create your own questions, because a lot of times these things have to be tailored to fit your life. My videos are more guidelines, and I try to share my stories to help you, because one of the messages for the Micah Principle that I want as I build my audience and build a tribe, as it's called, is to create a community where we're sharing stories, changing lives one story at a time. Because your story, you may not think it's a great story, but when someone else hears it, they may like, oh my gosh, she is living my life. I wish I had that. That's just an example. Not that we're envious of other people's lives, but sometimes in order to stay motivated, we are motivated by other people's success. So That's my goal, is to have a community where we're uplifting each other. We're sharing our stories in order to change someone else's life, because what you went through, it didn't have to be a struggle, but your process, you may tell someone and they never thought about that, and it saves them time and makes their business more efficient, or it just has a positive impact on them and it changes their mindset. You never know how what you're going through, and when you tell the story, how it will impact other people. So I hope this series of creating the intention behind your vision board, doing your reflection, doing a life audit, and then creating a process or a plan for yourself to live your life by design, not default. And if you want to call that your best year ever, go right ahead. But I want to live my life by design, not default, and I want to be true to myself. So these are the things that I'm going to do to make that happen. Have a happy holiday, and I will see you in 2023.